after the European Commission decided not to extend its ban on imports into Ukraine's 5 EU Eastern European member states. Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary announced their own restrictions on Ukrainian grain imports. The decision defies EU agreements with Kyiv, but raises doubts among Western EU countries. German Agriculture Minister Cem Özdemir said Poland, Slovakia, and Hungary were practicing part-time solidarity that risked playing into Russian President Vladimir Putin's hands in the conflict with Ukraine. So I know of no EU law that would be in accordance with that unilateral ban on Ukrainian grain, but the Commission is the guardian of the treaties, and I assume they will do their work. The position of the Commission is very clear, that this protection clause will not be extended, and that there is no need for it, as according to our information, the market can absorb Ukrainian grain well. I also want to say that the target destination are those countries where there is an urgent need. The Commission can only do more here in prioritizing the solidarity lanes, so I see no need for unilateral measures. I also do not see how that can be brought into accordance with EU law. There is a responsibility for each member state to be in line with the treaties, so no unilateral measures, otherwise there is no single market anymore. And then the second element is the need for the Commission to respond with agility and responsibility to these measures. I note furthermore, and to conclude on this topic, although it's an important one, we entrust Ukraine with the task of putting measures in place that allow the grain corridors to be made watertight, if you'll allow me to use that expression. We are also waiting for the Commission and Ukraine to give everyone reassurances.
The fact that any member country, I'm not judging one member country, but any member country takes unilateral action restricting what is the access to the single market seems to me something that is out of the law, but is to the Commission to judge. So is why we will have a council beginning at 10 a.m. And during this afternoon discussion, we will listen from the Commission, and I wait as presidency the explanation of what has been achieved on Friday and what is the follow-up that the Commission will take about the decision. I understand 3 member states, for the moment being, that have announced unilateral restrictions on that.
Warsaw, Bratislava, and Budapest say they are acting in the interests of their economies and that their moves are intended to protect their farmers from a glut of products. Ukrainian officials have said they plan to sue the 3 countries over the bans. Bulgarian farmers brought out their tractors to protest on Monday after the country's parliament voted to scrap the ban on imports of certain Ukrainian products. Grain producer Kostadin Alexandrov said farmers were struggling to compete on price with imported agricultural goods, even though food prices in Bulgaria's shops were high. We cannot feed ourselves with products from third countries, given that we are one of the main producers of grain here in the Balkans. I just don't know. For me, it's disastrous. We're losing. We're literally dying. We'll have to look for a new job. The resolution passed by Bulgaria's parliament said the ban had been ended, taking into consideration the country's solidarity with Ukraine and the competitiveness of Bulgarian agricultural producers who would not be affected. Romania's prime minister said on Monday his country would look to extend a trade ban on Ukrainian grain for 30 days if import requests rise.